and guess what Arturas Karnisovas did? Nothing. He didn't do anything. He didn't move anybody. And again, we expected this, but I'm still upset about it. I'm still upset about it, Goose. The incompetence that we witnessed today from Chicago Bulls is second to none. And I want to get into the rumored trade that was offered here from Bulls to the Warriors. They were talking about Alex Caruso, and the Bulls asked for Jonathan Kuminga.
Should have done that like 6 months ago.
Exactly. And we said on this fucking show, I told you that was gone about a month ago. This kid has been balling. He did it again tonight against Indiana. He's Steph Curry's number 2 right now. That is how he's performing on the Golden State Warriors. So then this is report. I've seen this out and I've heard it from a source.
From a sauce.
You know what I'm saying?
All the sauce.
I've heard it from a source. That the fucking Warriors, that was legit. They came back about Moody and maybe a pick. And they said no. The Bulls said no. Arturas Karnisovas, and I'm not even convinced Mark Eversley exists. I think he might be a fucking figment of my imagination. So they say no to a young shooting guard in favor of the guy that will help the winning teams play basketball. Save your culture bullshit for me. You can have the greatest culture of all time. If you don't have talent, you're not going to fucking win. I cannot believe. I mean, then wait, one more. What
else did the sauces say? Tell me what the sauces say.
Not another sauce, but just what I saw online. They're going to extend DeMar DeRozan. That's what they want to do. There's love there. They're going to run this. They're going to run this back. Lonzo's going to be back. And it's
money? We finally going to break
DeMar wants it here. He wants to take a hometown discount.
Really?
No, I don't know if he wants to do that, but that's probably what's going to happen. They were just gushing about each other.
I mean, I do think there is a world where DeMar enters free agency, hits the harsh reality that once again, despite the recent stretch of play, the All-Stars showing that he's still got it, that, mid-level exception and team-friendly stay with the Bulls might be the only thing you have. But as the Bulls, you're like the one team in the league that can't pitch that because you just paid Nikola Vucevic $20 million a year. And you just paid Zach LaVine $40 million a year. So how do you tell DeMar DeRozan, who's been the best basketball player on your team, even if he's at the very end of his career?
That's exactly what you say.
No.
You want a prominent role, a little bit more money than anybody else is probably willing to give you because you don't shoot threes. You stop the offense. You have to get it going. I love DeMar, but it's done. It's coming to an end. You can see it in his game now.
I mean, tonight's not the night to say that. I think he was 11 for 16 with 30 points. Obviously, it was against a broken Grizzlies team.
He played the C team of the Memphis Grizzlies.
So I'm just saying.
DeMar DeRozan's a very good player, Goose, but he's not good enough to get you to the playoffs.
We are on the exact same page. Extending DeMar DeRozan is our greatest fear, and it seems like it might have to be our only hope come the offseason. Because we don't own our pick outright next year. So unless we are entirely trash, we are forfeiting our first round pick to the Spurs.
And guess who comes out next year?
Cooper Flag.
And we're going to sit here and play these.
And you want to know why we don't own our first round pick? Because of DeMar DeRozan. Not that that's his fault.
We got to keep him, just like we had to do to Vooch. We got to keep him because that fucking pick.
Because that pick. We don't know what a sunk cost is in this front office. It doesn't matter what's changed, and the writing is on the wall for everybody but these guys. I don't know if they simply just don't want to do their jobs, if they're scared to do their jobs, or if they're genuinely content and believe that this is competitiveness, because at this point, their mission statement to the fan base when they took over and came in and made all these aggressive moves with assets that they didn't suffer for and they didn't make decisions for, they blew them all. And now you got a core that probably could have been Kobe White and Lauri Markkanen and whatever other young pieces might have stuck around or been able to develop if you didn't go all in on a roster around a guy who wants out that's having season-ending foot surgery, so you couldn't trade him, and you still kept the entirety of the roster together. You have $70 million worth of money sitting on the bench that isn't going to play for you. You didn't use the $10 million exception that you were given, granted the fact that the one guy wasn't going to play, and they knew that he wasn't going to play all year, and you're trying to sell this as competitive. It is embarrassing. This is one of the biggest global brands in any sport in the entire world. And this is the product that we are being sold to year after year with a smile on our face, saying that teams don't get better at the deadline. I hate that I have to reference the New York Knicks right now, but the Knicks got better
right
at the
before we came on the air, we just talked about how I cannot believe they made a great trade today. They got Bogdanovich. They got Burks over there. I mean, my goodness, they had shooters. They got defenders. They're going to be fucking scary. And here we are.
They grabbed depth that is not only going to carry them through a period where they have injuries on their team to key players, but is going to be there for them in the playoffs. And the Bulls have to see them 3 times. So I hope AK and Mark get to watch that front row and experience what you're supposed to do with a roster when you're close and when you need to take your foot off the gas. Because there was deals on the table for Caruso, for Drummond, probably for DeMar. You could have moved all 3. You could have refocused and went into the offseason with cap space, maybe tanked for a year, with that pick being owed to the Spurs, Cooper Flag coming out, hit the reset, get your
Dylan Harper's in that draft too.
Zach LaVine tried to build his value back up on a team that's trash, eat a year of that contract, a year and a half of that contract, and move him at the deadline the following year. But now I don't know how you bring DeMar back, expect Zach to come back in all of this just to come back.
And bring Pat back. I mean, whatever he's expecting.
Yeah,
this is the thing. You have to I don't know what fixes this, and I'm not going to be like one of those people that scream boycott the Bulls or whatever. I'm just not one of those guys. But I will tell you this: you've known me for a very long time. I have gone to a Bulls game every year for probably the last, I shit you not, 25 years. I'm 32, probably the last 25 years besides when the COVID stuff went down. I still went to a game that season.
Yeah, we did.
But I have not gone this year.
We've gone to a game every year together.
Yeah, I have not gone to a game this year. I have no desire to go to a game this year, and it's not. I love to see the people I get along with and shit. It's nothing like that. But I'm not going to go pay $30 for your parking, $12 for your beer to keep watching this shit. They've completely crushed my soul as a Bulls fan because I'm usually an optimist. I was until I hit 30. Then I became cynical as fuck.
And the greatest issue for me here is the whole reason there was a need for a new front office, the whole reason this franchise was getting a facelift was because we had settled. And at least where we settled before, we settled with Jimmy Butler. I actually felt like we had a chance to compete and contend. And 3 years into this, I still feel like the 3 Alphas was a better veteran experience than what we're getting out of this current team, at least in terms of being able to compete and giving me hope of maybe winning a first-round series. I don't think this team's going to make it out of the play-in again.